what I would like England to win.
Oh yeah? Okay, well that is true. There have been a lot of happy faces about. This is Talkaoke, we're just about to start. Come on, don't run away. You'll be fine. But but come in a little bit as well. Okay, cool. My name's Mikey. Who have we got around the table? What's your name?
My name's Thomas.
Okay, I'm going to turn you right a little bit.
My name is Charlie.
Charlie, and as I said, Mikey. The whole point of Talkaoke is kind of up to you to decide what you want to talk about. What's your name?
Rick.
It's kind of up to you. Do you want to come and get involved in this? You look like a community builder. Come and have a seat. We've got Charlie, we've got Thomas, we've got Rick. Come and have a seat. Come on. What's your name? You don't have a name. Okay.
I know him. The man without the man without a name.
Yeah. Okay. And we've got. Hello. So, anyone got a subject to start off with? Anything to get the ball rolling with? Any thoughts, comments, observations, suggestions? Charlie, anything you'd like to start off the conversation with?
I like this sort of deep listening for the community.
Okay, so I mean, well, we've got a community builder over here, and we are building the community here. Is an event like this good for the community? Do we need it?
Some bricks. Some bricks, so they got something to build on.
Okay. should there be like some practical things like bricks rather than virtual building on the computer screen? How do we build the community could be the question. With bricks or with computer games?
Computer games, not computer games.
No? Okay. Did we get your name?
Hello.
Have you got a view on this? How do we build the community? Festivals, things like this?
I feel like festivals like this because it's opportunities for people to get on and like see the kind of services Newham Council provides in a way that you wouldn't usually see. You know, it's sort of taking down looking on the boards and pulling information away that people can really digest. Something that and all the other stuff.
I mean, should Newham Council be getting out of the town hall and should they move their offices to the park? Would it make it more accessible for the council if their offices were in the park?
They want to be a park anymore.
Yeah,
They want to be a park. Be a working place.
Just an office for the council. Okay, so maybe not a good idea.
It'd be nice to have the chance to chat over a pint with somebody from the council.
Yeah.
Because they're not easy people to get over the table sometimes.
Okay, so in a way, it might make it more accessible. It might ruin the park, but at least make the council more accessible. If you could have a beer with them, you could have a little chat, watch a game or two. Would it make your council and the services they've got to offer a little bit more accessible? Maybe we should set that here in like a talking corner sort of thing. Okay, so right, okay. Okay, you've got computers at work, but you're not a big fan of computers.
I'm not working now, but I see computers are working, not as a
leisure.
They get themselves fixed up to the screen, they do the same at home. Too much computer game, not much socializing.
Hook to the screen. Maybe we can get some they're busy about a conversation, but are we too hooked to the screen? Yeah. Okay, what do you think on this side, Rick? Have you got a view on this? From the back of the camera?
Well, I just realised I always spend my life in front of the screen, so...
So you spend your... Do you divide work and leisure?
Yeah, but it always involves the screen.
Okay. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. At the moment we're talking about, are we too hooked to computers? Should there be some kind of talking interface so that people don't have to get on a computer to What's your name? Mona Lisa. We've got Thomas, we've got Ellen, we've got Charlie, we've got Rick on the camera, and one is Mikey. Who have we got at the back there? Hello, Lawrence. Anyway, basically we're talking about, there's a couple of subjects really. One is like, oh, it's really nice to be here in the park, you know, just chilling out. Come take a seat, wait if you think for a couple. I know you're working, but everyone needs a break, especially in this hot weather. Come have a So we got Rick, we got Mona Lisa, we got Thomas, we've got Ellen, we've got Charlie, and Mikey. What's your name? Gavin. When we're sort of talking about, should we have something like this in the park all the time? And what it could be as well is like when people have got problems that they want to go to the council for, but they, you know, these days it's all online. You've got to sort of like get onto newham.gov.uk / I don't know, parking / anything. Yeah, virtual work. But should there be a place like this in the park where people can go that don't want to go onto computers to actually be able to make that connection? What do you think? Would it work?
I think there's a lot of outspoken people that have something to say. If they were given a platform, maybe they would speak.
Okay, well, I mean, we've kind of based our whole career on that idea.
I kind of feel that like I came and break my line. When I'm having issue, I just email the person. However, like someone at my mum, she likes to go down to the office and actually have that face-to-face contact. So I think it's good to have a variety of ways that we can contact. For example, we do pay council tax, and I think we're entitled to a service that gives to everyone.
Okay, but
I think group forums every now and again would help the services to improve from behind the desk. Does that make sense? So like little people got together in what events and talked about it, the council would take it on board and speed up. And that would explain why my recycling bags never get delivered.
Your recycling bags never get
They
delivered.
never get delivered, and I have to go online and then get told that I have to apply for them, and they still don't turn up.
A lot of red tape.
I mean, Rick will know this as well. Like, whenever I get onto the computer, if I can't do it, I start shouting at the computer. I start swearing, actually, at the computer. Because, what's that?
But then again, I think the online services are there because customer service is quite poor as well. The representatives don't have the answers. You know, they don't have the answers for the people, so it's a bit difficult. So they lead you to a computer, and they know you're going to get frustrated.
So in a way, it's kind of like this fence. It's like a little barrier to stop you from getting to where you need to get to, because actually the services are not there. Come and have a seat on the table. Yes, that's you. We have got Rick, we've got Mona Lisa, we've got Thomas, we've got Ellen, we've got Gavin, and we've got Tyler, and Mikey. What's your name? What is it? Serena, come and have a seat. 2 minutes. Gavin's only here for 2 minutes. These people are going to come and sit down. I feel it. What's your name? Martin. And what, are you busy? What are you doing? What's the show? Tell us about the show.
We're doing the City Show.
The City Show?
We're doing the City Show later on the children's stage.
How has Sadiq Khan's new clean air regulations affected the City Show?
But when I see Sooty, I'll ask him, he'll whisper it and I'll tell him.
Right, will City be banned by Sadiq Khan because there's
You know, he's done with the bus driver, it seems to like, he's rerouting all the bus routes, stopping them early, changing them up. I mean, I just don't understand what he's doing to us.
Okay.
We always have this coming up to the year end. You know, the major roadworks, unnecessarily causing traffic pollution, and here's an issue I've got. Recently, they've made cars, diesel cars, older cars. You have to pay more to go to London. So I just think it's another case of gentrification. They're just pushing out the old to bring in the new. But the new is expensive. And a lot of people don't have the expenses to cover it. So it's difficult.
So in a way, they're punishing the people with the old cars, the old diesel cars. But to get a new car is quite expensive. What do people think about that? Charlie, have you got a view? When you got a car?
I like doing it more first they don't need to buy it, they got really supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So and a lot
Okay, yeah. I mean, they were encouraging people to get diesel cars, but now suddenly they're...
I am one of those people. Yeah, I got diesel cars. I'm not going to get rid of it unless I feel forced.
Do you feel slightly betrayed by this change in regulation?
Well, they always seem to tell you one thing and then a few months or years after they tell you they're going to give you the wrong advice. So I think the best thing is for people to make their own mind clear in the beginning and not being dictated on. Nowadays you're all being dictated.
So we shouldn't have listened to the government in the first place?
Like for example health and safety. I'm not worried about the old age, a lot of good things came out of health and safety. It gives people think what they're doing, it's right or it's wrong, or it's everything is not. Not like now, you have to tell a person how to eat. Your mind's not working anymore.
Okay, are there health and safety regulations when it comes to eating? Don't chew, don't swallow without chewing or stuff like that.
How to breathe.
How to breathe. Are we going too far? With too many
Like garden waste and the separation of waste. They give you incentives, which is good. The green, that side of the council is really good when they try and get
incentives?
Well, for businesses, there's incentives, but for the regular domestic household, we should get a concession on our council tax if we are doing green waste or something.
Okay, so there should be some kind of incentive. In a way, it's all a punishment for fine. Thank you, Gavin. We'll see you a bit later on. Thanks for coming to sit down. Stay safe.
I don't know, I mean, I do recycle and it happens to me, whenever I order my recycling bags, they don't come. I think they only get delivered to my houses, so I literally have to get it delivered to my mum's house. So I think they're kind of discriminating against people who live in flats, who want to recycle too. But also as well, I didn't realise that when you put your plastics in the recycling bin, they have to actually be clean. You're meant to clean them before you put them in. Otherwise it contaminates the whole thing. So I don't think there's much awareness surrounding how to recycle.
Have you been cleaning your plastic items or just throwing them in?
I just throw them in.
Okay. Do you clean them first? Yeah. You don't really... Come on, have a seat, come on. That's you, yes. Yes, you! Oh, look at them. How can you not notice me?
Why does it they know it get contaminated, but why could the council clean it?
Okay. Should the council be cleaning it? Should. Yeah.
They've got some recycling bags all over there actually.
Okay, so you can get some. Are you Newham resident?
Unfortunately, I'm a Suffolk resident.
Oh, okay.
We've got a notoriously rubbish council. Okay. Yeah, you always get 1 star in the Google reviews.
Right,
so.
1 star. Okay. How many stars does Newham get? Oh, you wouldn't know because you don't like to go online. Does anyone know how many stars Newham gets as a council? Is it better than doing better than Southwark? I don't know. What do you think of Newham Council? How many stars would you give it out of 5? 3, okay. What about you?
I don't give any start. The only thing I'm going to say is this. Like you're saying about the front of the houses. A lot of people put a lot of rubbish in their room in there. And there's a lot of people going around and supposed to be checking that and make a movie. But they only seem to get to one person. Imagine you're there for 1 day. He get told off, and the other people be doing it for being stuck there for 2 or 3 hours. It makes the area look horrible. Cleanliness, it's next to horrible.
Do you think there should be more police in the way?
Well, there should be police and there should be making to move on. Give them a few days to move them. And then mattresses in front of the houses, old furniture, old rubbish. Just like living in this, I feel like living in Islam. I've been living in New York
Whereabouts is
65 years.
What part of Newham is that? Just here, East Ham.
That's around there, Central Park. I don't talk about the places. I don't what about issue. Just like
It's the answer about just...
the council is doing a lot.
Come on up, we've got someone. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Come and work over here. Yeah. You want some ponies? Come and have a so you've got an interesting t-shirt. Everyone's got interesting t-shirts on. What's this not Westminster? Rock and roll, local democracy. What are you doing? You're found in the right place. What's your name?
Andy Mason. Andy.
We've got Charlie, we've got Ellen, we've got Thomas, we've got Mona Lisa, we've got Rick. Okay, everyone's like it. Funny enough, we're talking not necessarily democracy, we're talking about local services and the interface. So, for example, Charlie's not very happy with the interface between the council and local services, all too bureaucratic. Thomas, he actually lives in Southwark, we've discovered, but he's not that happy as well because it just seems like to get anything done, you've got to either go online and go newham.gov.uk / I don't know, recycling or / housing or whatever, and it's a very complicated system, and there was a little bit of a suggestion that maybe that's a deliberate barrier to keep the people away from the decision making. And so I don't know if you've got any views on this, Andy. I know you've just come and sat down.
Is there any other thing?
This is Talkaoke Pop Talk Show. We will put this online as a podcast. We don't edit. It's a whole 5.5 hours. So yeah.
Well, I'm sort of directly involved in that. I've been meeting and supporting the council in this transition now. There's Newham, and she really wants to put people at the heart of decision making. So I've been supporting and helped setting up citizens' assemblies. So it's local community neighbourhood assemblies, and they're going to be by this table over here. And we're going to try to create a space where local residents can come in, share their concerns, talk about what's going on, and hopefully collectively try to put forward priorities about how some of the spending locally gets done.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, that's
I mean, I'm not sure how many people are on the table. You live very locally to here near Central Park. Are you a local resident? Hello?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a couple of local residents. But what are your concerns? Do you think it's a good idea to have a citizens' assembly to get these local views across? Will it work, do you think?
And it's like the pressure.
Well, I mean, basically Andy wants to is setting up, like, I'm not even sure exactly what it is, some kind of assembly where residents come in and talk about their problems, like, for example, Charlie is very concerned about all the rubbish that gets dumped on the street, and it just gets left there for weeks, for example.
Maybe, because the council does a lot. They go around and they do all the time, can't do anymore. But people, because it's their flat, they think they can put it out there. And the whole place is horrible to look at, bring vermin, I suppose. It just makes you feel,
Okay, so
I like to live in a good environment. You sort of, you look at something, it's nice.
So, I mean, that's Charlie's point, but what would your point be? What do you think the council should be doing better?
I don't know, I think it's doing it's right thing because it's saying you have to pay £30. You can leave your stuff outside.
Yeah.
But people don't agree.
Right.
So what to do in this case, if it's cold, then they should do the same thing as they are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you think really they can't do that much more? Yeah.
You can't do because obviously you can't see people putting on the street. You know what I mean? Yeah, only the thing, cameras.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't think you could do that much about it. Okay, so welcome to the table. We've got Charlie, we've got Anne, we've got Ellen, we've got Thomas, we've got Mona Lisa, we've got Rick on camera. What's your name? Tim. And Rohit. And we've got another couple of people maybe sitting there. What's your name?
Hillary.
Hillary, welcome. And I'm Mikey and Peter. When we're talking about, it's quite interesting what we're talking about. We've got this guy here, Andy. he's basically set up a series of, or wants to set up some citizens' assemblies where residents can get more directly involved in decision making for the local council. We actually, before Andy came along, we were actually kind of moaning about Newham Council because you were saying, oh, you know, to contact the council you've got to go, you know, newham.gov.uk/recycling/ this, you know, and it's all, he doesn't even want to get on a computer. And there's no, he even suggested maybe you could have like a little talking space in the park permanently where, you know, where people could actually just talk more generally and come up, maybe have a beer and just talk with the council and come up with answers. And then Andy came and sat down and said, well, actually, we are doing these citizens' assemblies. One of the kind of test case for this is about rubbish in this area, just away from the park. People are dumping rubbish in their front gardens. And is this something that the citizens' assembly would be bothered by? Would it be kind of an annoying thing to have to deal with, or would it be something that you would get your head around?
The idea of the Citizens' Assembly is that it's a space in which you come to listen to what are the priorities of the local people. So if the priorities are stuff like fly tipping, then that's what gets discussed.
Right.
So it's not like you come into a space and you're told you've got to talk about this or that. It's a space where local people can decide what is the most important, the most pressing issues that we've got to talk about locally.
Okay.
And then the idea is that there's a discussion between the council. I mean, this is not just an independent thing. This is what the new mayor, Roxana, is actually trying to set up.
Well, so can you give us a final thought before you go, Thomas?
Yeah, I wish we had stuff like that in Southwark, so I'll have a look and see if there are similar things.
Yeah, so you're a bit jealous of you?
I'm a little bit jealous.
Okay. So, I mean, it's been a bit of a rubbish conversation so far, because it's been all about rubbish and recycling. That seems to be the main kind of question, the main worry. Anything on this side? Are you residents of Newham?
I'm actually a new councillor. I just got elected in May.
Congratulations.
So I was there for the first citizens' assembly that we had.
Okay.
And I think that was a fantastic venue where you had the mayor and you had people from across Newham sitting together discussing what are the kind of most important issues that we face over here and how can we go forward. I think the change that is coming is the fact that rather than having people in the top discussing what should be done, we are getting our residents involved in telling what they want and actually actioning on that. So
is it going to work?
You know, I mean, there are cheating problems with everything. But I think, you know, giving that is what direct democracy is about. You know, giving our people the chance to actually voice their opinions. Good, bad, we want to hear it. And we don't just want to give people telling how bad the council is or how good the council is, but actually what we can do to improve it. I think one of the best ways of doing that, rather than getting people, you know, just getting people we need to get people who are living in the community.
Come and have a seat at the table of chat. Basically, I'll come back. Okay. So let me bring in these people as well. What do you think about this? Can it work? Is it? I mean, what do you think? Do you have faith in this idea of direct democracy, as Rohit said? Do you think that's the way forward?
I think it's more satisfying for the people involved.
Yeah.
If they get instant feedback from real people.
Okay.
In a kind of real life situation.
So the people actually working will actually get more satisfaction. What's this?
Yeah, I just moved around here. I live in Central Park. I've been living here over 60 years.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about this new development? Because earlier on we were saying,
I think it's good. The more people get involved, the more people are conscious that they shouldn't leave stuff behind and make place dirty. Because it's where you live. It's like your house, you know. People want to live clean, people want to live in a nice area, people want to be nice. And one thing, three, when you go in a place where it's dirty, you have something, you drop it very easily. If you go in a clean place, you don't want to drop something because it looks out of place. So it's making people like the old times, you know, they were very, very Didn't have a lot, but they were very clean and they were very proud.
So in a way, what you're suggesting in a way is that this issue could actually just solve itself if people just talk about it.
Perhaps in the past there was a bit of pride when it came to where people live. I think that because I live in social housing and I just feel that people just don't really value social housing as much, even residents of social housing. So that's the reason why people don't really feel a way about littering. Because I mean, I live in a new development and it's really shocking how people just chuck rubbish. But I think if they were paying for
What do you think? What's the mindset? Why are people doing it? And you're saying they never used to do it. So why do people throw their rubbish down on the ground? Why do people not be tidy?
They want to stay.
Yeah.
That's why they put their rubbish down somewhere.
But I mean,
and it's not good. Obviously. £20 is not much.
okay, you're saying for like to get the rubbish picked up from your front garden, but why do people just throw rubbish on the ground when they just?
You know what? I think
Nowadays, we got too much of them in these packages. Before, you have a bottle, a milk, for example, a lemonade. People used to return it back to the shop. The shopkeeper used to have a box of empties. When the lorries come and give a box of Coke, they take a box of empties.
Right.
And that is recycling. Now they're trying to tell you something that you've been doing when you never had things, because you had to recycle. You never had to appreciate everything because you never had nothing. Now everything is throwaway. It's cheaper to go and buy something than repair it.
Okay.
So that's creating rubbish.
So it's a kind of disposable society. Come and have a seat on the table and chat, the both of you. We're talking about why do people throw their rubbish on the ground? What is going on? Is it actually the fault of like the drinks companies making these plastic bottles rather than a glass bottle that you return, as Charlie says? Is it because people just don't have pride in where they are? These are some of the questions. Come and have a seat. We've got Ellen, we've got Andy, we have got Charlie, we've got Rohit, we've got... I didn't get your name actually. Rohit. Okay, we didn't get your name, but somehow I seem to know it. And then we've got Hillary, we've got Peter, we've got Rick, we've got Mona Lisa, we've got Ellen and Andy. Let me just...
I just want to say, I'm going to be over here in a second. I might come back over, but if people want to have their voice heard more, then please do come along to Services Assemblies. They'll be in every community neighbourhood in September. And
where's the local one going to be to you?
There'll be somewhere in East Ham. I don't know which venue exactly yet. But if people are signing up here, these two computers, if you put your email in, you can get all the details about as soon as we know when the venues are, the dates exactly. But I'll be coming along here a few times.
Yeah, we'll just poke your nose in, and we'll give you the tape if you want. You can see what people, what they're talking about here. We will do. We'll send them to you. If they start getting a little bit, too vociferous, we'll say speak to Andy. Okay, we've got a new face at the table. What's your name? Margaret. We've got Charlie, we've got Rohit, we've got Tim, we've got Hillary, we've got Peter, we've got Rick, we've got Mona Lisa, and Ellen. What's your name? Have a sit down. We're talking about this question. Come and sit down. Come and get involved in this. We've got one spare chair, but maybe we'll get another one. Come on, yes, just give them a round of applause. Hey. That was a bit of applause. Come on, a round of applause. So what's your name? Yeah, okay, but we've got limited resources. What do we do with the limited resources that we've got?
Increased enforcement.
Yeah.
Yes, I think if we had,
So be tougher on people.
Be tougher on people,
okay,
then absolutely they won't litter around. I think we need to be tougher on people.
Yeah. I'm not going to reach you from up there, you're too tall.
No,
so,
I think it's just a case of, people need to do something for themselves, and in this case it's look after their own properties, if people don't litter, there won't be any litter that needs cleaning up.
But what about growing this sense of community and growing this sense...
Yeah, that's how you do that. You grow that sense of community, so people have something to lose if they do are a nuisance.
So you can be strict and also grow the sense of community at the same time and get that pride going. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Yes, that's you. Just do it. Just come along.
You know, on that topic of how architecture sometimes can sort of break up communities, like in my new development, they have this thing called secure by design, where basically, you know, you really make the block really secure, but what it does, it isolates people. So unlike past kind of council estates where it was built around, you know, community and like...
So there was an architecture...
Yeah, there was an architectural barrier. Yeah, luckily residents came together and we kind of fought against it, but even now, there's still that kind of separation, isolation, and I find that it does take the community to make the community. Like, you know, if you do want there to be a sense of community, you have to like put on events and be an active member.
Okay, so in a way, going back to your point, the design of buildings, and it's in the name of security, but it's actually, instead of security, you've got a lack of, well, you've got security, but you've got a lack of community. Yeah.
Like the secure by design thing, it should be failure by design, because there's so many things that have been designed in the name of security, but really, like, it's just failure. All you needed to do was just make it in a way that, like, I don't know, I can't really describe it, but there's just many things I just feel like this is failure by design, you know.
Come and have a seat on the table of chat. You're waiting, you might as well sit down and get involved in this conversation. And that's you as well. What's your name? I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on the oh, you're going to do it. Okay, so we have got Mona Lisa, we've got Ellen, we've got Peter. What's your name?
Jay.
What's it?
Jay.
Jay, and we've got Tim, we've got Rohit. We've got nobody on this side. Maybe I've been ignoring this side too much. At the moment we're talking about this idea of community, of a sense of pride. Where are you from?
I'm from Plaistow.
From where?
Plaistow.
In Plaistow, do they have a sense of pride in Plaistow? Is there a sense of community there, do you think?
Well, yeah, obviously everyone sticks together in Plaistow.
You think, yeah, so it's obvious, really. Does it shine out?
Well, yeah, but you don't...
Yeah. I mean, how do you get that? Come and sit down, come and get him. Yeah, you know you want to. You know you want to. Yeah, come and work and sit down and work. Well, tell us what your name is. What's your name? Monica. Come, Monica, sit down. We've got. Yes, you can. So I mean, so Plaistow's got it. Maybe other parts of Newham have it. You know, what is about, how do we get this?
It's about finding that commonality. When you think a lot of these areas, I'm from Hackney, you know, Plaistow, it's full of people who come from countries where there is a sense of community, but something happens when people come to the UK where it kind of gets broken away, and I don't know why that is.
So they come from places with a sense of community, but that community gets lost when they arrive and they come to London. What is happening? What's going on? How come we can't keep that? I'm going to come to you in a second, and if you're going, I want a final thought from you.
Yeah. No, so I would draw an analogy with plants, where you transplant a plant into a foreign climate, and it takes a while to take root. So I think you've got to work hard to cultivate it. That's my point of view.
Okay, so you've got to work a bit hard. There's a plant metaphor. You've got to get the roots maybe growing a bit more. But why are people not bringing their sense of community with them from these other countries that we can see the community is very strong?
I think we do have a very London-centric view about what that is. I mean, outside of London, you do have other places with lots of different communities together, and you don't have the same. You have different kinds of divisions, but you don't have the transients that we have in London, where you've got settled communities, you've got communities who are trying to settle, you've got you've got impact of gentrification, you've got people anyway who are just coming and staying short term in one borough, moving to another borough.
So it's on the move.
It's on the move. That's an initial point. So I think it does have I think London has an effect on communities which is very different to other parts of the UK. That's my final thought. We've got.
Okay, Rohit, final thought.
I think I will agree with what Tim just said over here. I think there are the communities of inclusions. We create communities of exclusion where we don't allow certain communities to kind of be a part of it. And I think,
can you give us an example?
Well, there are many examples.
Down as well for this final thought. I feel it's going to be
very quick. But again, I think if you think about gated communities, right? It is excluding other people from kind of being in there. The very kind of metaphor of the gate is that this is us. This is just us. Anyone who's beyond that, we don't know you. We don't want to get in touch with you. So again, then for me, it's like, how do we make sure that we are able to keep the communities that are coming in, with the communities that are already settled? How can we bring them together? It's a challenge. But I think that's something that as progressive boroughs, we have to make sure and work towards. Something like this, I think, is fantastic. I would have never spoken to many of the people here around this table, but having something like this, having the People's Assembly, I think is the way forward.
Well, in a way, it's a way of activating that, isn't it? Rather than just trying to make it happen passively, actually, cultivating that sense of community. I mean, what would the plant equivalent be? A tumbleweed, I suppose, that's always on the move. Give us a final thought.
Great scheme.
Well, thank you.
No, very good, very good.
Well, thanks for coming to get involved.
No, I think if you did this every week, you might get some really good feedback, and also get people together.
Well, I mean, earlier, some people said this earlier on, that maybe we should have something like this permanently in the park, and it could be an interface just to get the issues up and running. But thanks for getting involved. So we need to get some more people. Maybe Minnie will come back and get involved in this. Explain them.
Maybe this idea of community is a bit corny. Sometimes I feel like I remember organising coffee mornings and stuff, and there was something. I enjoyed organising it, designing the posters, putting the leaflets up, but there was something a little bit corny and cheesy about the whole thing. This idea of bringing people together, it is a little bit corny.
It's too cheesy.
It's a bit cheesy, So I always try and sort of make sure the language that I use doesn't sound corny or.
Let's ask Jay. Obviously Plasto's a good example of a good community where people are feeling that community vibe. But what would bring you to the table? What would actually get you and your friends kind of like finding out about new people, talking to people maybe that you wouldn't otherwise talk to? What kind of events would get you interested? What are the things that would actually?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in Plasto. But it's very youth centres and stuff all over the place, especially places like Shipman and others. I go to Shipman personally because kids can't go to the park because there's so many gangs in every area and every corner, and it's just a dangerous place. But everyone decides to stick together and make these communities for all the kids to come in and sit around and.
So in a way, it goes back to this question of security. Security is a real issue. And maybe, there's a fear of going to the park, there's a fear of going out, there's a fear of crime, what happened to you, there's a gangs. Come and sit down, come and get back involved.
There's just a lot of fear around. I don't think, I don't think there's gangs on every street corner. And I don't think parks are full of gangs. I feel like the media will tell you this to sort of make you feel scared to leave your house when it's not true,
Okay.
There should be more CCTVs. Because many people they do this.
Does that make you feel more secure when you got the CCTV?
Yes, of course. There is proof if anything can happen. Because if there is no CCTV, obviously they're gonna do their things. Do you know what I mean? So I guess should be.
CCTV, right? With CCTV, they always capture some blurry image of someone crossing some obscure road, and this is what they say. They're like, "Oh, Susan went missing on Wednesday, and this is the image of her on Tuesday at 10:45 crossing some random." It's never actually CCTV of the crime. Okay, sometimes it is, but I don't know.
So
I think
don't
more
really believe in CCTV.
It's not that I don't believe in it, but I just feel like CCTV. You can have it, but then the crime's already happened. I think there's just a lot of the perception of fear is very real, but I just don't think crime and
Okay, let me bring Andy on this. So basically, Jay has been saying one of the things that prevents this kind of community bonding is this sense of of security, of safety, too many gangs in the parks and stuff like that. And it's sort of brought to light one of the things that prevents this kind of sense of community is security. And Ellen was saying that in her block, everything's designed to be secure, but actually that means that everything's gated and closed off.
I think when community
get together, when there's much more sort of bonding between people, things are naturally more safe.
Yeah.
But if everybody is stuck in their home, isolated, just watching TV and reading the newspaper about how dangerous everything is, I think that actually makes things more dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a bit of a chicken and an egg situation because if people are locking themselves away because they've got fear, then they're not going to get together and sort of like eliminate the fear.
That's
so
the trouble,
how do we go in the other direction?
Yeah, well, we have to do what we can to create spaces where people do get together and connect, and that's Citizen Assembly is one thing, but also, you know, one was about 2 Christmases ago. In my local street in West Ham. People in my house, we sort of a shared house, and we decided we're going to just knock on the doors and invite people around to come and celebrate do a little Christmas celebration. And then a few people came, not many, but it was a really nice thing, you know, and it was just really, really different people. But it was interesting, and people told their stories about living in the area and stuff, and that kind of thing I think creates more safety, you know, because then people start looking out for each other, and you know.
Okay, so it's a sense of looking out for each other, of, you know, when you know people, you feel more safe. I mean,
because I don't necessarily want to, you know, be all up in my neighbour's house. If somebody did invite me, though, I would definitely have gone over to that Christmas thing. But I'm just saying in general, like.
So you'd be the invitee, not the inviter.
Well, it's not that, but like, I don't know. Maybe these people feel like to have a community, it means that everyone must be. Like, I don't know, in your neighbour's business, I guess. But really and truly, it's just knowing the faces behind the doors. I think knowing who's behind the doors is really important, and that's it. You know.
Okay, so is it about knowing the faces? How do we get to know the faces? When there's a bit, there's a very good point, Jay, I think, about the fear and about the sense of security. How do we actually, how do we tackle that whilst keeping people safe? Whilst making, come and have a go. Are you playing a game of chess there? Are you winning? Who's winning? You're winning, okay, so, I mean, how do we get that sense, that feeling of safety? And it's important, you know, it kind of overrides all the questions about, you know, doing stuff together. The first thing is people have got to feel safe to do it. How do we, I mean,
I think there's just a lot of money to be made from fear, really. You know, and that's it. You know, when you think about it, there's just security, you know, whether that means that, whether that's about your image, how you look, you know, feeling scared about getting older, or just feeling scared about existing. There's just money to be made from it, and so it's just a case of fighting against that.
So in a way, fear is a big driver, and you can make money from it as well. Any thoughts on that, Andy?
I think there's definitely truth in that, unfortunately. The more you can get people feeling insecure about themselves, the more they're going to go out and buy products and all kind of just sit at home playing computer games or whatever and not go out. But I don't know. There must be ways what to do about it. It's not easy, but
I'm going to say we've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Aretha.
Aretha. We've got Andy, we've got Jay, we've got Ellen, we've got Lawrence, we've got Mona Lisa. Come and sit down, come and get involved in this. And all of you, come on, along you come. Come, you can sit down as well. You're matching the whole setup here, so you have to come really and sit down. We'll take if you don't mind, we'll take a photo because it's such colour coordination. We don't normally get that with the oranges and the pinks. Anyway, so we've got Mona Lisa, we've got Lawrence, we've got Ellen, we've got Jay, we've got Andy, and what's your name?
Hania.
And?
Saim.
What's it?
Saim.
Yeah. We've got Aretha, and what's your name? Nabila. And I mean, we're talking about growing the community, and we're talking about what stops people from getting together. And Jay's made the very good point that sometimes you can't get to know your neighbours or get to know your community because there's a fear, there's a worry about gangs, there's a worry about crime. There's just this general fear in the air. So how do we reduce this sense of fear? How do we, you know, feel more safe? And is that important? That's what we're talking about at the moment. So have you got any views on that? Do you feel scared when you go out?
I don't feel scared because I have someone with me that could protect me.
Okay, so you feel that you're kind of safe. Nabila, do you feel safe?
Yeah.
Out and about?
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, what about I guess it's more boys, teenage boys. Do you have any relatives that are teenagers? And do they feel safe? No.
No, I don't have any relatives.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel safe?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel safe?
Yes.
Okay. So generally, do you feel safe generally?
Well, me, I've like not too long ago.
Yeah.
I feel I don't even want to walk up my front door because I went to the park.
Yeah.
I've been sitting down and it's a bit of a stupid idea because I was set up, but I got my phone stolen.
Right.
And this boy said that he knew where he lived, and he did because he told me my address. He told me where my school and everything like this. No one gave him this information because everyone in the park didn't tell him a single thing about this.
Right.
So he's known this, and I can't walk outside because I'm afraid of him being there or whoever he's called to be there.
Oh, and did he get this information from the phone?
Yeah, all of this information.
Right. Okay. So you got your phone stolen, then suddenly you're somebody knows everything about you, and it can give a real sense of fear. What can we do about these kind of things?
We could lock our phones up in a bag or a home and make sure our home is locked up.
Okay, in a way that's good advice, but it's come too late for Jay because his phone's already been stolen. What's that?
No, Thomas was asking me what we're talking about.
You're back again. We've got Thomas, this is Jay, we've got Andy, we've got Tanya, we've got Simon, we've got Aretha and Nabila and Mona Lisa. And I think Ellen, and that's Lawrence. Is it Lawrence? Yeah. And I'm Mikey. And basically what we're talking about right now is a sense of fear. How do we reduce the sense of fear? These people on this side feel very safe, and I think that's good it came out this question about how do we grow the community, but Jay got his phone stolen, and then the boy that stole it now knows everything about him, and it gives him a fear of going out and about. So that's what we're talking about now. How do we reduce the fear? How do we actually get that sense of safety and an ease in the community? That's what we're talking about right now.
In case someone tries to steal your phone, lock your phone with a password that no one knows but you.
Okay, so when you get your phone, put a lock on it so that people can't get into it.
Yeah.
Have you got a lock on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. Have you got a phone?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you got a lock on it?
No.
No. Yeah. Have you got a phone?
No.
No. Have you got a phone?
Yes.
Have you got a lock on it?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I've got a phone.
Is it locked?
Not right now.
Should it be locked?
Maybe. I don't know these people that well, but maybe.
Do you feel a sense of fear when you go out and about?
Not really. I mean, I don't think there's anything on my phone that I'd be afraid somebody. I mean, I suppose I'd be a bit afraid they might call up people and defame me.
Right. Okay.
By leaving nasty messages on other people's phones. That might. Yeah. That would be the worst of it. But can't you just cancel your memory card? Can't you do that?
I don't know. I mean, it's more about the information that was on there already, wasn't it, Jay?
My phone was locked, but I had a friend with me at the time because I never go out anywhere on my own. Now, when your friend is getting choked around the neck, there's not much that you can do. It's either your friend passes out or you give someone your phone, and physical objects to me don't really have that much of an impact. Yeah. Whereas my friends, that's a built-up relationship, that's trust that you have just gained, and you don't want to lose that. So I gave away my phone because I wanted my friend, and then so I've had to give him my password, delete all of my stuff. He managed to dig up some of my data.
Okay, so it's more that you lent your phone out, kind of thing. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about safety and trust. And how do we reduce the fear? Because one of the things that's come up today is fear is stopping us from getting to know each other and sort of making links in the community. What's your name?
Ramon.
Ramon. Yeah. So we got Andy, we got Tanya, we got Simon, where's Aretha gone? And we got Nabila, and we got Mona Lisa, and Lawrence, and Ellen, and Thomas, and Jay. And when we're talking, this question of fear, how do we reduce the fear? Is it about being more aware and being more safe in how we use phones and stuff like that? Are there other things we can do?
I don't necessarily think it's a case of like using your phones and social media. I think that
hang on a sec. Let me get a final thought from you before you go.
Like the community as a whole needs to work together. Excuse me. And the government as well need to help young kids out, especially kids that are ethnic minorities. I feel like we always get put as a stigma, and we have this stereotype that we're aggressive and we're thug guys and we do a bunch of road stuff when it's not like that. I have dreams of being a musician. I make rap music, but my music is about what I see. You know what I mean? I'm only documenting what is to document about. I'm basically giving you the news. I don't think it's social media plays a little bit.
Do you think when people like sing or rap about bad things, people, it's almost like shoot the messenger, that people say, oh, that's, instead of, I guess you're saying you're bringing up these issues, but do you think people kind of blame you for talking about these things?
I think if you're closed-minded, then you'd blame me for that. But if you're open-minded and you realize that everyone within the rap music now wants to make an image, they want to make a statement. It's almost as if they're trying to tell their reality, but because they don't know how to do it properly or their intelligence isn't the best, they always incriminate themselves.
Okay, so in a way it's about how you say it, I suppose. Nabila, final thought?
I think people have to be more responsible and towards other safety and their own safety.
How do we grow the community? How do we get people to make links between the different communities? Have you got any thoughts on that?
Not sure about that.
Not sure? Okay, it's one to think about. Ramon, thanks for that comment.
I've got to go.
Jay, give us a final thought.
I don't know. I can't really think of one right now.
No, too much information.
Too much.
Okay, are you overloaded with information and ideas, do you think?
Well, that's usually what I am. But
what do you think about Ramon's point that sometimes people are like rapping and singing about bad things and then they get called bad because they're talking about all the bad things going on?
Well, not necessarily, because like he said, he's rapping about what he sees. And if all you see is bad stuff, then that's not your fault. But most people just make it up, and that's what mainly gets people aggressive. Like most people will rap about how much money they have or how much fame that they have. When it's not really that much. It's just that everyone believes every word that they say because that's what the media's like putting into their mind.
So there's a kind of sort of self-fueling thing where if you rap about things that I guess everyone else is rapping about, and people are actually exaggerating their level of success, and then it becomes all about that. It sort of fuels itself. So I mean, do you think that's a point?
Yeah, it is a point. I feel like people will overhype or over-exaggerate what they do. Like you could say so many things within music. We've had Wu-Tang, Tupac, Biggie. Like they've all talked about illegal things, but at the same time they've always kept a level of realism of what's going on. They've talked about different issues.
That's the whole point of music, isn't it? And isn't that with like pop music as well? Like, people just exaggerate their circumstances. I mean,
so you think it's all, in a way, it's all
I kind of think it's all music. It's popular music. I think with or without music, there will be crime, rap music, whatever. It would exist. I'm struggling to see how music can have, or how rap music can have an impact on people's emotions more than rock music. I mean, it's not like rock music is the most safe and non-violent kind of thing, isn't it?
I mean,
it's like aggressive as well, isn't it? So I
mean, those heavy metal people can be quite antisocial sometimes.
So I think it's just an excuse, and I think a lot of it stems from what you were saying before, how black people are seen as a bit more like aggressive and stuff.
Do you think that stigma is still there?
100%, because I mean when you look at like how Spotify and I think Apple Music, they wanted to make it so that some rap artists are no longer searchable, but then it's just like what they're rapping about, how is that different to some white American artists from different genres?
So there's a kind of racist element.
100%,
hip hop or rap, I believe it's not. It shouldn't be aggressive in some way. How, like lyrics, or I believe it should be also about good stuff. Now it depends about artists, what they talk about, what they sing about. So hip hop can be also to teach you something. So that's what I believe about.
Hip hop can teach. Can we have rap music that's a little bit that is, I guess, instructive or insightful, I suppose, is the question. What do you think about some of these things, Ramon?
Sorry. I feel like music is a way of free expression.
Yeah.
You know, you're expressing your deepest, darkest thoughts.
Yeah.
In a constructive way. We're not necessarily just jumping out and saying, oh,
yeah,
this is what we do on a regular basis. This is what we see growing up. You know,
yeah.
I could talk about someone being killed 5 streets down from where I live,
yeah,
but that's truth. That's reality that we live in. I know it's not supposed to be the normality, but unfortunately that's the way it is. And you have to adapt to your surroundings, and the only way people get out is either you become articulate enough and apply yourself in different borders of genres, or you make music. That's how it's always been.
I mean, there's this question of being articulate, because you also said that sometimes, you know, where it goes wrong is people are trying to express themselves about these things, but it kind of goes wrong because they're not articulate enough, or they're not got the sort of lyrical skill to do that. I mean, is that the case? Is it about being...
Wasn't what's his name, Kendrick Lamar, the first rapper to win some kind of is it Pulitzer Prize? I don't remember. I don't know what it is. But I mean, there's a lot of positive rap music out there. You know, Kendrick Lamar being one of them. So many other, J. Cole. So I just think people like to focus on like the negative. But there's, you know, if you want to find it.
Do you think it's people focusing on the negative? I mean, where do we want to go with this conversation? There's a couple of directions I can see it going in. We could talk about this stigma about black people. How is it still there, and how do we actually, get past that? We could talk about the music and what the influences music have what influences music have on our society, and how can it have a positive influence. Which direction do you want to go?
In terms of influences, it can only influence you so much. People, they like, let's take for example the Migos. They're always talking about the watches, the chains, the jewelry. It's their lifestyle, but remember, that's theirs, not yours. You haven't got to try to emulate what you want. Like, I could talk about anything I want as long as I'm being real, and that's what matters.
So it's about a genuineness and authenticity. About what's actually in your heart.
There's no point saying you drive a Rolls Royce if you're driving a Toyota. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Are there many people that are rapping about driving a Toyota?
Music is music. People make the most outlandish music I've ever heard in my life, and they still get rich and famous over it. So you can talk about Toyota.
I mean, this is more my era. Like about 20 years ago, there's a guy that was rapping about driving a Toyota. What's it? I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, Annie, any views on this?
I don't know, just in general, I think the great thing about London and Newham as well is like it's so diverse, there's so much difference, and I think that's something we need to celebrate, is that we're not the same, we're all different, but we're like, that's a good thing, and like we can learn from each other. But I think the problem is like if we need to have more connection, the different cultures, the different ethnicities. We all need to talk a bit more, and it is difficult because like there are stigmas, and I think it's not fair. It's not great.
Okay, so in a way, maybe we've got assumptions that just come from the media or something.
There's definite injustices, and we have to work on getting over that, and I think, especially people from privilege, like white people, need to learn more about other cultures and ethnicities.
Okay. Okay.
It is important to celebrate the diversity, but it's also important to know, like, why is it so diverse? Why has Newham changed over 10 years? Why did all these immigrants come? What was the reason? Because I just find that there's just a lot of lack of education surrounding, why people are here. Like, for example, when you look at like the Windrush situation, why did they come? They were invited over to help, support the NHS and the public services.
Do you feel that's been historically?
I don't think people knew why they came. I think if people knew, then they wouldn't have experienced so much racism when they came. And I think that's kind of the problem. People just think that like the government's just accepting these people here, and that's it. And
Okay, so I mean, is there a bit of a lack of understanding about why we've got such a mixed community here? Has that history been forgotten? Was it even kind of be aware at the time it was happening? Was there awareness of it at the time it was happening? Any thoughts on this side of the table? Come and have a seat on the table of chat. I guess we're talking about diversity, celebrating the diversity. There was a point over here from this man in the hat. I wanted to talk to. Did he say something about wanting to talk to a counsellor? Yeah, but he was here a minute ago and you missed him. What did you want to say? Come over here. Tell us what you want to say. Maybe. Anyway, so I guess we're talking about diversity. Do we understand why the diversity is there? Are we celebrating it in the right way? And
kind of understand why, a lot of people.
And so let me get a final thought from you. Final thought for at least for this 10 minutes.
I think, we can treat diversity as something useful. Yeah. Because, if I think of ecosystems, nature, everything is totally diverse, but it works together to create things. Yeah. And I think human beings are the same, and we can't try and. The more we divide ourselves into separate little silos, the more we're going to have troubles. Yeah. The more the society is much better when we connect and work together.
Yeah. Okay, so it's about diversity. We're not really maybe recognising the strength of that diversity enough. As happens in nature, we've got diverse ecosystems, but they kind of work.
I just kind of feel that I can understand why somebody who might, a white person who's grown up in Newham would feel threatened by all of these sort of, other people coming in. But if they don't know why they're sort of coming in, I can understand, but I just feel like there's never any kind of conversation surrounding why people, why these people are here, that's what I think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a bit naive, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, Thomas, you've not said much for a while. What do you think about this? Is it about people not appreciating the history, as Ellen says? Is it about us not celebrating the diversity?
I think it's easier for a lot of people to stay in their bubbles. I think it's a nice place to be, isn't it? Like if you just have a nice white social circle who do nice white things at the weekends, it's easy, isn't it? And I suppose people need to sort of maybe realise that you can grow as a person if you're exposed to different kinds of culture. Like I work at the Rich Mix in Shoreditch, and I work, I'm exposed to so many kinds of culture, drag queens and all sorts of people from all over the world. And after a while, you literally you end up just speaking to someone. Yeah. You don't end up talking to a drag queen. You don't even think about somebody, of a different ethnicity after a while. So it's always just exposure and finding ways to enjoy your spare time. Exposed, I think.
Okay, so it's about exposing yourself to new experience. Come and expose yourself to a new experience of Talkaoke. Yes, you can do it. We have got Ramon, we have got Mona Lisa, we have got Lawrence and Ellen and Thomas, and that's it for now. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Tell us, what's your name?
Katie.
Katie, come and have a seat. Come and get involved in this. At the moment we're sort of talking about diversity. How do we celebrate the diversity? Are we appreciating all the different kind of things going on in our city? What's your name?
Ian.
Ian and Katie?
Yeah.
And we got Ramon, this is Mona Lisa, Lawrence, Ellen and Thomas. I'm Mikey. Come and have a seat. Come and sit down. Yeah, you can do it, yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Do we appreciate the diversity of this area, and how do we kind of celebrate it more? What do you think, Katie? Do you know what I mean when I say diversity? No. Okay. Can someone explain it, diversity?
I kind of feel like diversity means a number of things. You can have diversity in architecture.
No, but in what we were talking about.
What we were talking about, in race. Yeah, so basically it just means people from different areas.
Yeah. So people from different areas, maybe different parts of the world getting together. Do we appreciate that, what they're bringing to the table?
It's all different.
I'm up for it. Everyone's different, but it's nice to learn new things.
Yeah. Okay.
New cultures, etc.
I mean, what do you think about it, Katie?
I think that.
I mean, at school, do you learn about different cultures?
Yeah.
You do?
We learn about at school.
Yeah.
We learn about different things about like what people are like, about like different pieces of it.
Yeah.
And we also do this thing at school called PSHE, and we also like learn about like different things of what it all means.
Yeah.
And what it's all about.
Okay. So I mean, so it's happening in the schools. I mean, oh, we lost Ramon now. Ramon, give me a final thought before you go.
In terms of diversity, I'm gonna sit down 1 minute.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. It helps people, as he said, come out of your bubble a little bit, and it helps ground break certain things, certain barriers that we've got as cultures, different colours and religions. I think it helps us as a whole as human beings. So diversity is the definite place to go.
How do we get people mixing? I mean, Thomas works at Rich Mix, where it is effectively this mixture of different things going on. But how do we get people more in the mixer and more mixing with each other? Are you going on?
Yeah.
Are you going to be performing in a second?
No.
Okay.
Not today.
So that's the question. How do we get people mixing more? Any thoughts? Yeah.
I mean, I suppose events like this, you have many different people sort of mixing maybe at school. I think it's all well and good people mixing here. I think when it comes to like employment and stuff, that's when things can get a little bit more tricky.
Yeah. What do you mean by employment?
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that point a little bit more.
All right, so it's a difficult question. Come on, get involved. 2 minutes. Yes, you can. You can do it. What's your name? Ryan, come and have a seat. We have got Katie and Ian, is it? Katie and Ian and Thomas and Ellen. Ryan's gone, but maybe come and have a seat over here. Come and get involved in this. Yes, come and park up over here. Oh, he's too busy. So I guess I'm trying to get people mixing a bit more, but are there other ways to do it? What do you think, Katie?
Social media.
What's that?
Social media.
Social media. What sort of social media?
Everything.
So
Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah,
all of them.
But how does that get people mixing with each other?
Communication.
Okay, so it's about communication.
And you can also like become friends with them on like the social media apps, and you can like talk to them as well, and you can get to know more about them.
Okay, so you actually get to know more about people through apps and stuff like that. Do you agree, Thomas?
I don't really. I'm not a massive social media user, but I'm a bit more face to face. I think like going to things like this is better just so you can speak to somebody.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit. I'm not judging it. I just don't use it.
Okay, so it's not for you.
It's not really for me.
Do you think that's a question?
I don't think I represent myself well in text form.
Really?
And I tend to put my foot in my mouth more often than not if I text
say
things.
the wrong thing on a text.
I say the wrong thing in a text. So
yeah. Are you a social media user? No, not really. Do you like Thomas? Are you a social media user? Yeah, come on then. Come and tell us about it.
Like especially in a place like London, people are already mixed. People live side by side.
Yeah.
But so I don't think there's an issue there personally. I just think maybe there's just a lack of understanding about different communities and cultures.
I'm going to say, let me get a final thought from the both of you. I guess the theme of the conversation for the last few minutes has been how do we grow the community? How do we get people making more connections with each other? Have you got a final thought on that? No?
Don't be afraid to communicate.
Yeah, so it's
Talk to people.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because we talked about fear a lot, and fear can often be the barrier that stops people mixing. How do we reduce the fear?
Just be polite and pleasant to each other.
Yeah,
And it would be like you could also like use like different voice of like tone to them.
What's that?
And you can also use different voice of tone to them, and you could be more polite and more nice to if like you're having like a bad day. You can like still be like nice to them.
Okay, so just keep the positive vibes going in a way. To keep the positive vibes going, as I hope we're doing today, then perhaps we can get that sense that thanks very much. Thanks for coming to sit down. Well, maybe now's the time. Maybe now's the time. We reach a natural break. There's a lot of we've got like somebody talking about earlier on. We were talking about people being absorbed into their computers. This person over there has really got absorbed into their computer. Any final thoughts for this session, Rick?
Well, I was just thinking. I was agreeing with talking to people, just to get like finding the whole diversity thing, and just chatting to different people from different backgrounds, different things is the best way, I think.
It's a very simple thing, but sometimes we just don't do it because, as you say, I think we're in our bubble.
It's quite hard sometimes to go out of your comfort zone to chat to someone, and sometimes you need something that an event or something that makes you, helps you do it, something to bridge the gap.
You
exactly,
of your
because
zone.
it's difficult to randomly talk to people sometimes.
Come on and have a seat. Get out of your comfort zone and talk to these people. Maybe next time. Maybe that's too far out of the comfort zone.
Just randomly. No one never talks to people in London. That's the thing they say a lot. You don't talk when you're like getting the public transport or something. But I had an experience like 4 a.m. at a bus stop. Where everyone's just talking to everybody.
So you've just got to get up early if you want to talk to
but
people
it was great. It was kind of like a really good experience.
You're going to jump in, okay? Stay there. We're going to have just a quick change of personnel. At the moment, we're kind of. Do I have to adopt the baby then?
You know what? I can try and put him in the pushchair.
Okay, you do that. Well, in the meantime, I'll find out who this man is over here and what he's got to say. We've got Thomas, we've got Rick. I'm Mikey. What's your name?
His name is Me.
What's it?
Me.
Me. Okay. Me or me?
Me.
Okay, so I'm Mikey. At the moment we're sort of talking about, in a way, it's this idea, we get so much from meeting new people, talking to people that are a bit, not the same as us. We found that out today, but how do we get people just to go a little bit outside of their bubble, outside of their comfort zone, and find out about all the different people that are around? Have you got any ideas, Me, about how to make that happen?
Of course, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Because, the thing is, we forget.
Yeah.
We forget we don't know who we are.
Right.
So, who am I?
Me.
That's not me.
Yeah, me is not me.
Yeah.
No, okay, so
right.
we forget who we are.
So, exactly, you got to start from there.
Right.
We all are human beings.
Yeah.
We forget that.
Yeah.
If you remember that and if you know that, then we have no problem.
So in a way, if we want to find out about other people, we've got to find out about ourselves as well.
Say for an example, if you have a garden.
Yeah.
There's lots of flowers.
Yeah.
Different color of flowers.
Yeah.
Why they are in different colors? For us to enjoy.
Right, yeah.
The roses are there, lilies are there.
Yeah.
But we never go and say in the garden like, oh, this is green, this is yellow.
Yeah.
This is brown.
Yeah.
No, we just enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy the garden.
Okay,
so this is garden of life.
In a way, it's just this sense of enjoyment then, in a way, isn't it?
So this is like our ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
That's what it is all about.
Okay.
Anyway.
I think that's a good way of looking at it. But I guess my question would be, I've heard it. You know it, people around the table. But how do we spread this message out to other people, to maybe all the kids on the computer games and stuff like that? How do we get this message across wider?
Well, how do you spread? Means, how are you doing it? Do you need to work? You need to work, isn't it? It's got to start from you. It's got to start from you.
Is it a sense of like, if we're enjoying it, if we're enjoying the garden, so to speak,
that's enough. You see,
other people see you enjoying it and they want to enjoy it too.
Exactly. When they look at you, when you are miserable, then how they're going to come to you? So look at that. If you are roses in the garden, rose never do anything. Just sit in there and give the smell. That's it.
Well,
so how does it spread? The rose smell.
Yeah.
Doesn't do nothing.
Okay.
So the same way, you shine.
Yeah. Okay,
you
so
shine.
You've got to shine.
You got to shine.
Are you ready to shine in the middle?
Of course.
What about the child?
So if it depends if the light is lit or not. Otherwise, it will be dark.
Okay, so it's in a way, be a light, be a shining light, and then other people will bask in that shine. I'm gonna keep this conversation going, but I'm jumping out. I'm going to be on the outside now, and Ellen's going to go in the middle. Stay there, though, Me.